So hope I'm audible. I'm sharing my screen. Once you're able to see my screen, say yes in chat box so that we can start our session. Just a second, please. Okay. So hope my screen is visible. Anybody can confirm, please. Am I audible at least? Hello. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. My earphones had an issue. Just a second, please.
Voice is bright.
Is it clear now, or still it is breaking?
Oh, it's okay, sir.
Okay. Just give me another 1 minute. I have to change my headphones. I think it is having an issue. Just give me another second, please.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Hello, I'm audible now. Raju
Yes,
or
sir.
Ranjit. I mean, audio. The sport is having an issue actually. I think. So what I do is, for the second class, I'll switch my laptop. So for time being, we can continue with this. If you have any questions, you can just put in chat box. Okay. Yeah. I'll share my screen. So if you have any questions, just please type in chat box because this laptop is having a speaker issue. Basically, I use my headphones. It seems that also having a problem. Okay, fine. Any questions? Just please type in chat box so that I can check frequently. I can able to answer your questions. So in our last class, I think we have discussed about work permit system. I think 2 days a continuous class. So we have seen the complete the guidance document about the work permit system, and we have understand what are the different uh, positions or roles which are involved in work permit system, and also we have seen the process of work permit system, do's and don'ts, procedures, and also we have seen some of the checkpoints in the work permit system. So today we try to cover safety in the boilers. So boiler means there are different types of boilers. There are industrial boilers, even some of the boilers we use in the kitchens as well to generate a steam. Basically, the boiler is uh, meant for generating of steam. The steam will be used for multiple purposes, either industrial applications or domestic applications. Okay. Yeah. Today we try to cover what are the various hazards which are associated with these boilers, and also we'll try to cover the safety precautions against the hazards which we discuss. Okay. So basically, boiler means it is a pressure vessel in which the steam is generated for the external to itself by application of heat, which is wholly or partially. So here are we'll see in further slides. There are different types of boilers: fire tube boilers or water tube boilers. We'll see those differences as well. Even they'll be in different types of capacities, and also there are different fuel type. So for example, some of the boilers they work on coal based boilers. Some of the boilers they work on diesel fueled boilers. So diesel is used as a fuel in some boilers. Coal is used as a fuel to generate a heat. So when I say boiler components, so we have seen in our previous examinations, sometimes they ask us to write list of components as well in the examination. Just you write the components itself. Sometimes they may ask for 3 marks. Sometimes they may ask for as a long answer as well. So when I say boiler components, it means the steam pipes, feed piping, economizers, superheater, or any mounting or other fittings on any other external or internal part of the boiler, which is subjected to a pressure exceeding 1 kilogram per centimeter square. Those all are components. Whatever the fittings which are there on boiler, internal and external, all together, we'll say boiler components. So when we say types of boilers, as I mentioned earlier, there are different types of boilers. Majorly, a fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. Sometimes we may have a combination of these both fire tube as well as water tube. There are different types of boilers classified based on their boiling process. There are main three types of boilers as listed. One is a fire tube boiler. We have seen this picture earlier. Basically, what will happen when I say fire tube, in a fire tube boiler, a hot gas passes through the pipes and the boiler feed water is inside the shell to be converted into the steam. You just simply assume a water heater in our homes, so that you assume as a fire tube boiler. When I say water heater, we can assume the hot air or the fire which is there inside the tubes. Around the tubes, we will have water. If you see here, it is a you can assume fire tubes here, the red color ones. Around these tubes, inside a shell, it will have a water around it. So overheating up, once the water reaches 100 degrees centigrade, what will happen? It starts evaporating. So resulting will generate a steam. A fire tube boiler are usually used for relatively small steam capacities with a low to a medium steam pressures. They use for small steam, maybe less capacities. They need not to have a more pressure. Even the usage also very less. Even the requirement of pressure also very less. In such cases, we use this fire tube boilers. Next is water tube boilers. So here, as the picture it is self-explanatory, the water will be inside the tubes. So we will apply heat over the tubes. In the previous case, the water will be over the tubes. Here, the water is inside the tubes. That is the difference. In the water tube boiler, the boiler feed water flows through the pipes into the drum. A circulator water is heated by the combustion gas to form a steam in the steam area in a steam drum. That is the difference. When I say fire tube, fire inside the tubes. When I say water tube, the water inside the tubes. That is the basic difference actually. And combination boilers, third category, which is a combination where we'll have both. It is called as a boiler combination because it is available as a complete package. When set it in the factory, it only requires steam pipes or water pipes, the fuel supply and electricity connections to operate. A boiler package are usually a shell and also tube types with a fire tube design and with both heat transfer and also heat convection, where we have both the options. Now we'll see the characteristics of a combination of boilers. There are a small amount of combustion space and also high heat released results in a faster evaporation. Then large number of small diameter pipes. If you see, I mean, get a chance, you can just explore in YouTube. You will see, understand that different types of boilers and also the arrangement of pipes to make it good convective heat transfer. So because of small pipes and all, they're made of iron. It will have a better conductivity or conductive nature, so that the heat transfer will be very faster. Then forced or included draft systems produce in a good combustion efficiency. Induced draft in the sense oxygen supply or flue gas supply for a better induced or draft systems, it will have a better combustion, which means the fuel combustion will be efficient. A number of passes produce better overall heat transfer and higher thermal efficiency compared to the other boilers. When you compare with only fire tube or only water tube, the combination of boilers will have better efficiency. Okay. Now we'll try to understand the boiler operations. So there are different types of operations, different types of activities we will perform while operating these boilers. One is a startup and shutdown. So a flow manufacturer recommends the startup and shutdown the procedures, and always start the boiler gradually to prevent the thermal shocks. So thermal shock in the sense, you should not heat up the boiler at a shot. So gradually we have to increase the temperature of the boiler. Suddenly you should not give so much fuel to, come to the maximum temperature of the boiler, like chimney effect. Maybe if you have seen, when a glass is suddenly heated up, what will happen? It may chance of the breaking. Even the coils get damaged. Maybe because it is in a hot temperature. It is in a cold temperature. Suddenly you are applying so much of heat. Then due to the thermal shock, it may blast, or it may get damaged. Sometimes the metal can brittle as well. It can crack. Then water level. So monitor the water level in the boiler constantly using the gauges, electronic controls. Low water levels can expose heating surfaces and lead to overheating of the and damage. So water level also is very important, that if the water levels are not sufficient, what will happen? The components will heat up, resulting it may damage, because ultimately if the water is not there, what will happen? The heater, it gets heated and overheated, it may melt as well. Sometimes it will result into damage or accident. Then pressure control. Maintain a proper pressure within the boiler using the pressure controllers and also safety valves. Excessive pressure can lead to a rupture in the sense explosion, damage. So pressure control also one of the major activity we have to monitor continuously. Then fuel handling. So when I say fuel, as I mentioned, the broad category of fuels, coal, and then sometimes they use firewood as well, or and diesel. These are the major the categories of fuels we use for feeding as a fuel. So a proper fuel handling procedure, and also avoid introducing foreign materials into the combustion chambers. Foreign metals in the, when you so combustion chamber, it will goes more foreign material, it may get blocked. The combustion efficiency will go down. Then continuous monitoring. So this is also very important in the boiler operations. The continuous operation monitoring. So regularly we have to monitor and record the temperature, pressure, and also the fuel combustion and other relevant parameters to ensure efficient and also safe operation. It is a kind of safety controls like general operations. We have to monitor the boiler inside temperature, as well as even water level inside the boiler, even the pressure, and how the fuel is combusting. If the fuel is not combusting, if you keep on feeding the fuel, what will happen? It will get dumped in the combustion chamber. So if it is dumping more, then you will get more smoke because of not combusting. If your combustion is not well, what will happen? You will get more smoke. If you get completely combusted, you will not get any smoke. Then blowdown. Regularly perform a boiler blowdown to remove the accumulated sediments and also prevent scale buildup. Blowdown is nothing but a cleaning activity, so that we can avoid any sediments. Then maintenance. So it is going on an ongoing activity. So we'll see the follow a routine maintenance schedule, including cleaning, inspection, and also the component replacements as necessary. So like regular inspections, periodical inspections, then even legal inspections, regular inspections, non-regular inspections, all will cover under this maintenance activities. Then documentation. So maintain accurate records of the operation, maintenance, and also inspections and repairs. So that if the documentation is properly done, so that we can understand the healthiness of the boiler. If you are not maintaining the records, so what will happen? Even though you are inspecting, you are not maintaining the records. Over a period of time, we are not able to understand the condition of the boilers, because we are humans, so we may forgot. That's why we will get all this ISO documentation system, inspections, uh, records, checklists, procedures. All these are properly documented, so that we can understand the performance as well as healthiness of the boiler. Then emergency procedures. So train operators on emergency response procedures such as shutting down the boiler in case of any emergency, evacuating the area, and also contacting relevant authorities. So here also we have to identify, so what are the various potential emergency situations which will arise while operating in a boiler. And also all the boiler operators will have authorized license holders. Only those people have to handle the boilers. Okay. Now we'll see, try to understand what are the various hazards which are associated with this boilers. One is explosion. So explosion is a common hazard with associated with the boilers majorly. The boiler explosion can result from various factors, which is including overpressure or due to malfunctioning of pressure relief valves. The pressure relief valve is not functioning well. What will happen? The pressure will be there inside. Like if you understand the human body, so if you have an acidity, you're not able to, I mean, take out the gases which are produced in our intestine. What will happen? It will pressurize, resulting the people leads to fatal accidents. We used to say heart attack. It is not about heart attack. Even if we are having a severe gastric problems also, the cardiac arrest will happen because it will not able to, the blocks the blood vessels, so that we can lost our life. Same way, any pressure vessel, even if you see our the cookers, the pressure cookers which we use in our kitchens, if the vessel is not working properly or something is blocked, any food particle in the vessel, if the vessel is not opened up over a period of time, what will happen? The pressure is built more and more inside the cooker. It leads to a blast. Same way, the explosion will happen due to resulting of overpressure, or you are not regulating the pressure properly. And second one, the pressure relief valves are not working properly or not as per the design intent. Then inadequate water circulation leading to overheating. So water circulation is also very poor. In such cases also, it will resulting in overheating and ignorance of flammable gases or fuels. Explosion can cause a catastrophic damage and also pose significant risk to persons. Okay, these are the various reasons which will leads to explosion. Then fire. So boiler fires can occur due to the fuel leaks. So the fuel leakage, then ignorance of combustible materials near the boiler. Sometimes coal, it may, if it is in a coal or it is in a wooden bundles, or if it is in a diesel, whatever it is, whatever the fuel we are using for creating a steam or creating a temperatures. So if you are not maintained well, if it is leaking happens, then it will result in fire near the boilers. And also improper combustion also create a fire, and fire hazard can lead to property damage, injuries, as well as a loss of life. Sometimes the wood which we have kept for the boiler, it may catch fire, or sometimes the diesel which is spilled over there, or coal which is dumped there, they are also able to catch fire, resulting in accident. Then steam scalding. So high temperature steam can cause severe burns and also scalding. Pressure should be properly, personnel should be properly trained to handle the steam related equipment and know to avoid the contact with the steam leaks and also releases. So as we know, the steam, the temperature will be very high. So if you are directly contacting with those steam temperature, it will definitely result in burns. So scalding, it is also refers to burns which is caused by exposed to the hot steam. It is nothing else. Burns and scalding also, it is a kind of burn injuries. Hot surfaces. So hot surfaces means, so definitely the boiler will be under, just a second. Yeah. So hot surfaces. When we say hot surfaces, what we can see, hot surfaces is nothing but the boiler components, the shell of the body boiler, as well as external fittings, and also the pipelines which are connected to the boiler. All these are under, fall under hot surfaces, because the steam is very hot over a period of time. If your the steam is passing through all these fittings, these parts also will become hotter and hotter. The boiler components and surface can become extremely hot during the operation. Not all the cases. Whenever you are using a boiler, then only those are in hot conditions. Accidental contact with hot surfaces can result in burns or other injuries. So nobody wants to burn their body or burn their hands intentionally. If you are contacting accidentally, it can leads to burns and injuries. Then chemical exposure. So handling chemicals for water treatment and cleaning can cause risk if not properly managed. And also exposure to chemicals can cause skin irritations, respiratory issues, and other health problems. So we'll use remove the scaling of the chemicals inside the tubes. Then those chemicals can cause these kind of hazards. Then electrical hazards. So boilers often require electrical components for control systems, pumps, and other equipments. Incorrect wiring, electrical faults can lead to electrical shocks and fire. So fire in the sense due to resulting of a short circuit. Then carbon monoxide, CO. So CO, how it happens? CO releases whenever there is an incomplete combustion. So if there is a complete combustion, there will not be any chance of releasing of CO, carbon monoxide, which is very poisonous in nature. We are not supposed to expose. Incomplete combustion of fuels can produce carbon monoxide and a colorless and also odorless gas that is highly toxic, and proper ventilation and monitoring are essential to prevent CO building up. So because whenever the CO builds up, so if your combustion system it is not functioning well, if your combustion chamber is dumped with the material excess dumping of material, or the ratio which is not properly defined, because for creating a fire, what are the things we need? We need oxygen, we need a fuel, we need a heat. So whichever excess happens, if the oxygen is not sufficient, then also the combustion will not happen properly. If the fuel you are putting more also, it should have some time to react and burn completely. Then also it will not burn completely. Excess fuel feeding and also less oxygen supply will result in improper combustion. Even the fuel grade quality also it is not good. Then also the incomplete combustion may chance. So resulting that there is a chance of CO generation, carbon monoxide. So it is colorless, we can't able to identify, and odorless, we can't able to smell, even which is there nearby. So it is always to monitor the combustion chamber whether the fuel is properly burning it or not, and also a proper ventilation and monitoring systems to prevent the CO buildup. Then corrosion and scaling. So poor water treatment can result in corrosion and also scale buildup within the boiler, reducing efficiency and also potentially causing equipment failure. Scaling. So scaling is nothing but the calcium or other minerals which are there in the water, if you're using or heating up on day-to-day basis, even I'll take an again the portable water heater example. So when you say initially when you buy a water heater, the new one, it will be very shiny, and over a period of time, once you use for 1 2 months, there is a scaling happens, which is around the coil or the heater, because of those minerals which is in the water. So here also we use demineralized water, so that the water tubes, it will not be scaled up. So if it is scaled up, what will happen? The capacity of the boiler will come down. So when I say scaling a water tube boiler, so what will happen? The water will be inside the tubes, and I will apply heat from the outside. So if the water is having any impurities or these mineral rich, then it will start scaling inside the tubes. So when it is scaling means it will minimize the capacity of the boiler. So automatically the efficiency will come down. So maybe initially it is giving 10 tons per hour or 100 tons per hour, because of the water supply is sufficient. When the capacity is coming down, the water capacity is coming down, what will happen? Even the capacity of the boiler also will come down, resulting it will leads to efficiency, and also it is not able to meet the requirement of our operations. And over a period of time, it can failure the equipment also. If you're not cleaning up, or if you're not taking off those scaling factor, it will completely block the complete piping system. Then pressure related injuries. Sudden release of pressure can cause physical injuries due to a forceful ejection of materials and parts. It is kind of again explosion or any damage of steam pipelines or gaskets, etc. Falls and trips. So boiler room and also associated areas may have uneven floors or slippery surfaces, and also obstacles that increase the risk of falls and trips. A lack of training. Again, inadequate. A trained personnel may not be familiar with a proper boiler operation, safety protocols, and also emergency procedures, leading to a potential hazard, because unknown people are very risky at the boilers, because it is runs at high temperatures and also high pressures. We are not supposed to allow any untrained people near the boiler. Poor maintenance, neglecting routine maintenance and inspections can also lead to a malfunction, and also reduction of efficiency. If you are not maintaining well, even if you take your two-wheeler itself, if you are not maintaining the two-wheeler properly, if you are not maintaining pressure in the tires, if you are not changing the engine oil on time, if you are not servicing the vehicle properly, what will happen? Automatically the efficiency will come down. So over a period of time, it will not give any proper response, and resulting in the damage of the engine get failure. Okay, those are the hazards. Now we'll see the safety precautions which we need to follow. So one is a proper training. Only trained and authorized personnel. So when I say trained and authorized, so we'll have boiler operator license, B license, C license, etc. A grade operators. Only those operators, based on the license, they will have their capacities of the boiler they can operate. Only those people can operate those boilers. We'll cover these authorizations more in IS 105, where we'll discuss about Boiler Act. Okay. Only trained and authorized person should be operate the boilers. They should be acknowledgeable about their boiler operations, and also safety procedures, and also emergency protocols. They should have proper knowledge on complete operations, safety procedures, as well as emergency protocols. When I say emergency protocols, uh, proper shutting down in case of emergency situation comes out, and also escaping from the immediate vicinity, and also rescuing of the people. Okay. um, and then regular inspections, conduct regular inspections of the boiler and its components and also associated systems. Look for signs of corrosion, leaks, or any other issues that might compromise safety. So again, periodical inspections are necessary on critical components so that we can understand the functions or the healthiness of the boiler. In case of wear and tear or any cracks or any damages, we can replace with a new one so that we can make sure that the boiler is functioning well. Okay, I'm stopping here for now. We have 9 seconds, so we can continue in the second class.